Good morning, afternoon, and evening to everyone wherever you are in the world. I am your host, Lolly Handtrap, and today we have a new deck profile, which is basically for Trickstars. Trickstars, basically. The lollies that we knew that won Worlds 2018, but now there's a 2020 version that I made for locals, and that can play against Drytrons, Eldrix, whatever deck you can say. But the one thing is I haven't had any top results for this deck. The reason why is that honestly, I've had my unlucky occurrences on stream where we played against slow players, and one thing is that is a huge problem in this community, guys. Please stop slow playing. It's either you know your deck or you don't know your deck, or you do not know what to do. Do not resort to cheating. Slow playing is considering cheating. That's all I'm going to say. Like I said, you can check out my streams at Lolly Handtrap, and you can basically subscribe to this YouTube channel at Lolly Handtrap as well. But anyways, guys, let's get started with this deck profile. First off, we have 3 Candinas. So 3 Candinas is basically a staple thing in Trickstars, pretty much simple. Next up are your 2 Lycoruses. Lycoris, this is a fact, it does burn damage, and with it being a mid-range format, sometimes it's nice to have Candina on the field where you can do burn damage for your opponent as well. Next up are your 1s for Trickstars, which are 1 Lilybell and 1 Corobane. So the reason why I play 1 Corobane is the fact that it's searchable off of Candina, but the fact is that another alternative is people will think that you're wanting to add Corobane, so you add Lilybell as well. Lilybell, when it's added to the hand, you basically can special summon it as well. Next up are your basically Dogmatika cards, which is this is a Dogmatika Trickstar deck. So we go with 2 Ecclesia. 2 Ecclesia basically allows you to search off your Dogmatika cards, 1 Fleur-de-Lis, and 1 Maximus. So the reason why we play a 2-2-1 engine is because the fact is that we're playing Maximus, but also the fact that the deck spots are already tied. This is already a 50 card deck, I think. So basically 2 Ecclesia is a lot of fun. You sometimes want to see it, but the one thing is you mainly want to add it off into Deer Servant for the pop or for the banish. Same with the Fleur-de-Lis. Fleur-de-Lis is also used for fodder for your link monsters. For those who've seen my previous deck profiles, you know that we play BLS whenever we play Fleur-de-Lis. And 1 Maximus is for the fact that you can also mill your opponent's extra deck, and also the fact it's a free special summon as well. Next up are basically your 1 Shaddoll, which is like Nail, Shaddoll, Aerial, because of how you're playing App Cologne. Because of how decks in this format consider using the banish the graveyard, which are Drytrons and Eldrix. Next up are your hand traps. 3 Droll and Lockbird, 3 Ash, and 3 Nibiru. So with this current format, the only deck that dies to Nibiru is Drytrons and Virtual Worlds. So the way you kill Drytrons with Nibiru is that if they're stupid enough to not play Ultimateness, then that's pretty much it. Ash Blossom, again, you basically just Ash the Alpha Duben or the Beta, the first ones. Mostly the Alpha. The Alpha will, if you Ash the Alpha, it will most likely kill them. Droll and Lockbird, again, kills a lot of decks in this format. Drytrons and not really Virtual Worlds, but Dogmatika and Invoked. So pretty much you're playing 3 hand traps. You don't really play Gamma because there's really no point. You can play Gamma engine, but the one thing is Driver is a brick. You want to minimize your bricks in this deck. So, and the reason why is that this deck is already pretty consistent because pretty much any 2 monsters you can go into Dragoon. Let's be honest. Speaking of Dragoons, you play Dark Magician and Red Eyes. Next up are your spells, which are 3 Nadir Servants for your Dogmatika cards. Next up is your 1 Light Stage, 2 Mystic Mind, 1 Zombie World, and your few spell searchers are Terraforming, Set Rotation, and Demise of the Land. So let me explain this because people have asked me, why are you playing Zombie World in this deck? Well, first off, Light Stage is basically because of, Trickstars. Mystic Mind, you can play at 3, but honestly, I feel like 2 is a better number because there are searchers as well. But Zombie World, the reason why I play it is for set rotation. Basically, if you flip set rotation, your opponent will have to activate Zombie World and for Drytrons. So once your opponent does that for Drytrons, and they try to activate Fafnir, you can also super poly them, but at the same time, Zombie World is also good against your end as well, where your Trickstars or your Dogmatikas turn to zombies. You basically super poly to go attack for game or to clear the board as well. And lastly, Demise in the Land is for when decks like Drytron special summon only, you basically activate Demise in the Land, activate Mystic Mind. Drytrons cannot play around Mystic Mind. I'm being 100% honest. Drytrons cannot play around Mystic Minds. Mystic Mind is not being played around, which is a horrible thing for this current format, especially a mid-range format. People have complained against me. Like, I've played against an opponent who was like mauling at the fact that I'm playing Mystic Mind. It's a mid-range format, child. Deal with it. Deal with it. So Mystic Mind is pretty prevalent in this format, as well as Dragoons. Not a lot of decks can play around Dragoons or Mystic Mind. But anyways, onto our fusion cards, which is 1 Insta Fusion, 2 Polymerization, 1 Red Eyes Fusion, and just because it's a 1-of now at this point, our back row removal is a Harpy's Feather Duster. So Super Poly, like I said, it's for the troublesome boards that your opponent can make, such as Drytrons. You can just use for I don't know. That's a pretty much hard thing where, like, if you're against Drytrons, you just side out Super Poly. It won't even there's a light machine Super Poly target besides the Cyber Dragon core, because you need a Cyber Dragon for that. Red Eyes Fusion basically is for Dragoon. Insta Fusion is for the Millennium Eyes Restrict, so you can go to your Dragoon plays and you can negate any Veilers or such. Feather Duster is basically back removal. But Super Poly, it's a good tech that people do not really consider. I'm waiting for the Super Poly target for Virtual Worlds, actually. Ultimate Axon Kicker, which is a pretty good card, but the one thing is people are shaming it. Let me prove them wrong one day. I haven't seen any matchups against Virtual Worlds at my locals lately, except until I switched decks. I played against Virtual Worlds and it was like a shit experience, but yeah. But anyways, next up are your traps. 3 Trickstar Reincarnation, 2 Dogmatika Punishment, 1 Schism, 3 Torrential Tribute, and 1 Metaverse. So Reincarnation is pretty good during this format. You banish your opponent's if you banish your opponent's hand for Drytrons, they cannot play that. They can honestly not play. Punishment basically for Dogmatikas. Schism basically you can go Winda. Your Drytron matchups will lose your Winda 100%. Torrential Tribute is for the Virtual World matchup as well. Metaverse is for the flip and go Mystic Mind as well. But anyways, onto the extra deck. The extra deck is pretty much pretty standard for a Dogmatika deck, which is 1 Titaniclad, 1 Intis, 1 Millennium Eyes Restrict. So this is Dogmatika. This is for the Instant Fusion target. Your Shadal engine, 1 Winda, 1 Construct, 1 Apculum. Next up are your Super Poly targets, which are Still Every Venom, Dragon Necro, and your last one, your Dragoon. Next, you have your Link monsters, which is 1 Anaconda, 1 Cerberus, 1 Selene, and 1 BLS, 1 Access Code, and lastly, your biggest thing, Omega. So the reason why we play Selene is for the fact that your Dogmatika cards are spellcasters. You can basically link the into Selene and go into Access Code. And at the same time, Cerberus is for the Zeus. I'm pretty sure people are now respecting for the Zeus with the Cerberus. So that's why you play as well Intis and Titaniclad. That's pretty much it. Omega is for the Maximus Recycle, where you can recycle Maximus or Intis, or you can recycle Omega and Construct as well. So pretty much onto now we go into the side deck, which is pretty much the spice technically, you could say so. But anyways, basically what you're siding in this format is 3 Lancia. The only time you play Lancia in this current format is honestly against Virtual Worlds and Dogmatika Invoked or whatever. Next up are your triple Gamma series. You don't know when you're going against a Dragoon matchup or a Eldritch matchup that's currently buffed up, or Drytrons as well. This is pretty good against Drytrons, where you get rid of their ultimateness. But one thing is how you get rid of their Vandy's Ruler is also the fact that you play into your servant to pop with Intis. Next up is again your another kaiju, which is Kumongous. Next up is 1 Super Poly, just in case you play against Eldritch as well. Cosmic Cyclone for the back row removal. And lastly, we play 1 IDP and 1 Evenly. So the reason why I play 1 Evenly is because I only have 1 Evenly. So what if I had 3 Evenlys and 3 IDP? You would main deck the 3 IDP, main deck side deck the 3 Evenlys, or you can do vice versa as well. It doesn't really matter, but because I only have 2-1, I play both in the side deck as well. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much for the Trickstar Dogmatika deck profile. Hope you enjoy. Leave a like, subscribe, or whatever. You can see my VODs of this deck basically being played at locals twitch.tv/LollyHandtrap. But anyways, guys, till the next. Bye.